what is the cave?
What is the cave?
Right, you mentioned it.
So we are talking about philosophy, right?
Right.
Okay. Just to make that clear, what's called the Allegory of the Cave gives us a very good picture of what philosophy is, more specifically, what metaphysics is. It's the most encompassing term for what philosophy deals with. And a lot of people don't understand what metaphysics really means. Metaphysics is a study of and an account of the nature of reality. And it accepts that nature may be sensible or insensible, meaning that there may be aspects of reality that are different than what we call empirical, hard reality, right? Reality that we experience through the senses. Along with that is what is called epistemology, which is the study of knowledge. So we have two things that we tend to deal with, first of all, that is metaphysics and epistemology. So what is important about these two? The way that we know reality implies that there are certain things, and that there are certain things implies that we have a way of knowing them. And the Allegory of the Cave is going to demonstrate that. Well, imagine this, that we are sitting in a cave, and that we are sitting, though, with our heads directed toward the wall. We are sort of fixed in our position. We can't move our heads, can't see side to side. We can only see in front of us. So what do we see? Well, we see some images on the wall, shadows. We don't know that they're shadows. We just see these images moving, right? And we also hear some sounds. And we don't really know where these sounds are coming from. We don't even have a conception that they are coming from somewhere. They are just there, right? And so you have to imagine that there are these, let's call them prisoners, in a cave having these experiences. And this is all that they know, these images against the wall and the sounds they hear, right? Then something happens. One of the prisoners is unchained and is able to see what is going on, right? So the prisoner turns around and sees that behind him there is a wall, and there is a kind of a walkway that's kind of elevated. And along this wall, there are figures. There are men carrying objects. He doesn't know what they are, but they are just objects. They turn out to be coffee cups, cans, maybe they're animals, birds. Or they're actually not real birds. They are, say, copies of birds that are just carried across in a way to kind of perform a puppet show in a way. And there's one other thing, just to give you the full picture. Further back behind this wall where these objects are being paraded back and forth, there's a fire, okay? So this fire is projecting light across these objects against the wall. And so what do you see against the wall? You see the shadows of these objects. And if you think about it, it's not unlike a movie theater kind of situation, right? Where you have a projector projecting images onto a wall, and then the people in the audience are looking at that wall, and they're seeing these images. The point is that all that you experience when you are a prisoner in the cave is these images on the wall. You don't know what the cause of these images are, and you have as long as you're a prisoner, you have no other way of finding out, right? But when you are let go, you start to investigate. And what you find out is reality, that is what is really going on, is different from how things appear to you and have appeared to you. So we have in the first instance reality and appearance in philosophy. So there are things as they appear to us, but there is a reality underneath that is more encompassing and more true than the reality of appearances.
This is Plato, right, who came up with this? Did he invent this for a particular metaphor, or? Yeah,
because the objective was really, he started off saying that it's really a model of education, and how what you know is limited to what you are exposed to, right? So these prisoners were never set free. They would only know, the reality would be just the shadows on the wall and the sounds that they hear. So you can in a way, all of us are like this at some point, sort of captive to the experiences we have. If we want to, learn more about what is really going on, we have to broaden our experience and find out the reality behind the appearances. So you have to find out that these shadows are caused by these artifacts.
So how does one break the chains and see what the actual shadows are?
Well, one way to explain that is that you do it by your capability to know. And that is, you have the ability, native ability, to think. Plato thinks that knowledge or being educated is not like just pouring water into an empty vessel, like you're pouring knowledge into an empty head. You have the innate capacity to think and put things together and to reason. So let me give you an example of that. So we have within us the capability of making abstractions. For example, we see three things that look like, they have feathers and they have beaks and they sing little songs. And then we come up with an abstract kind of concept of them. We call them, that's a bird. We just give it a name. This is a way of conceptualizing the reality that we experience. We categorize it so that we can find out what real things there are, appearance and reality. But we also have a difference between the mind and the world. And it's a difference that we often have trouble reconciling. Does our representation of the world accurately reflect the way the world really is? Or is it just some kind of collective illusion of the mind?